Billy D here with your weekly buzz with a couple of great friends of mine. Let's get the hard stuff out of the way. They're from mychiropractic.com.
That's right.
Okay. Artavon over here and his brother Jeff. Me, Kevin. I was just kidding. All right. So we're going to bring you the top 10 reasons that really lower the public's perception of us and our image.
Absolutely.
And you said something really kind of interesting before. You said that, we're a profession that saved lives. And why don't you go? You said it.
Well, a person came up to us because we do a lot of chiropractic research. And a patient came up to us and said, how can a profession that saves lives be content with such a meager image? And to us, that was huge, because if we're saying that we're going to save lives, we're going to change your life, why can't we get it right when it comes to our attire, when it comes to our office decor, when it comes to our websites?
Right. And, why don't you explain to everybody what you do before we get through this a little further?
Well, for the past 15 years, we've been doing...
And before you say that, I just want to thank these guys. They have been like our sole sponsors for the buzz. They're the ones that are responsible for you guys getting the buzz. So let's give it up for Artavon and Kevin over here.
Woo.
And mychiropractic.com.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I love you guys.
Thank
that.
you. We love you too. So for the past 15 years, we've been doing branding and marketing and design. And 5 years ago, when I met my wife, she's a chiropractor, I asked her, why are your websites so cheesy? Why didn't I know that chiropractic can change my life? And it's all perception. I didn't trust them. I didn't value them. So therefore, I never went to a chiropractor. Mm-hmm. So we started doing a lot of market research on 5,000 potential chiropractic patients, and we found out that image is the number one issue that new patients have with chiropractors.
Right. So not only do we run an advertising agency, a creative branding agency, but we decided to take our own money and invest it into research so that we can do an awesome job for you guys.
Right.
And so during the past 3-4 years, we've sat down with 5,000 potential chiropractic patients, like he said, have them answer a bunch of questions, and we've come up with the top 10 reasons why people don't trust chiropractors the way they should.
Well, I think, don't they just kind of look at our profession as kind of a second-rate, kind of cheesy, cheap profession?
Right, and cheesy and cheap is how we describe their image. Right. And if we can change that around, I'm sure we're going to have a lot more people trusting us. Right. And here's one side note. In the past 10 years, we've had the cookie-cutter website and do-it-yourself, software out there. But the acceptance rate is still at 4%. It hasn't gone up any. So those things aren't working. So here we are to tell you guys what you can do to improve your image.
So we're just going to start with 10 and work down to number 1.
Yes, number 10. Like
number
David
10 is...
Well, number 10 is the cheap and gimmicky prices. People, when they drive by a chiropractor's office and they see a flag waving saying $9 adjustments, that really devalues the profession as a whole. People need to value you guys, and for you guys to tell them how much it's going to be ahead of time without even, touching their back, looking at their spine, doing x-rays, it really sets the bar low. So gimmicky prices like $9 ones or a $19 van we saw a few days ago by the Irvine Spectrum. Actually, those vans, I see quite a number of them. It's $19.
$19 adjustments all day, it says on it. Big letters.
Is that that firm that...
Yes, we can't mention their name.
There are actually two different vans I've seen.
Yeah.
One is that firm, another was a new guy.
Yeah.
He actually operates out of a white cargo van.
Yes.
Was it a nice van or was it...
No, it's a 1982 GMC van.
Really?
Yeah.
So it wasn't even like a nice Mercedes.
No, it's like a 18 kind of a van.
But a generic white.
Right. I think those guys are going to put themselves out of business, but
they will.
I know. Yeah. Okay, number 9 reason is jack of all trades advertising.
That's right. Here's one thing that we know about the chiropractors we deal with, and we love you guys. We know you guys can do weight loss, you guys do fitness, all sorts of different wonderful things.
And liposuction.
Whatever, sure.
DNA testing.
But one thing that the public perception is, why don't they guys just say, hey, we fix your back, or we can help eliminate pain? Mm-hmm. Why are we going into all these different channels? Mm-hmm. Because then you become a jack of all trades, master of none.
Now, I know chiropractic philosophy is very important.
Right.
And I believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
But the average person doesn't know that. Right. The average person, you can get them through the door, promise them that you're going to fix their back and neck, and once they're in, they're going to be hooked with the philosophy.
So let me ask you this, just being the devil's advocate on this. I mean, I really like to give people the impression that chiropractic should be looked at kind of like dentistry, that everyone should go to a chiropractor if they're really interested in longevity and lifetime health and quality of health. What do you guys think about that?
Absolutely.
But does that send the mixed message as far as what you just said?
No, because we have a chiropractor in Florida who is starting this new trend called chiropractic hygiene, spinal hygiene. And his philosophy is just like dentists. You got to upkeep your spine.
I mean, that's the truth.
Yeah. So you come in with pain, for example, even if you don't have pain, you got to come in and get checked. Because I don't know if I have a cavity or I'm going to have a root canal done until I go get my x-rays done and a dentist look at me.
All right. So, and we rank number 5 as far as you mentioned that.
Right. When people think of back pain or neck pain or headaches, well, mainly back pain, they think of their MD.
That's a big
first.
niche, though, too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. And they think of their MD first, then they're going to think of their orthopedic surgeon.
Right.
Number 3 is going to be their PT, physical therapist. Number 4 is going to be acupuncturist. And number 5
Is the
is gonna be-
reflexologist?
No. Chiropractor, followed by a close sixth would be massage therapist.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, a lot of the people we talk to, they would always use massage therapists when referring to chiropractors.
Right.
Like, I've been to a masseuse before.
Right.
I'd like to know, what have you been to a chiropractor? And then they would say, what's the difference?
Right.
All right. Number 8.
Please.
Rundown strip mall location. Yeah, I don't like strip malls, but that's me.
Well, strip malls are great for some people.
Yeah.
But if it's a rundown strip mall, you may want to invest a couple $100 extra per month and get somewhere, a nicer office in a nicer neighborhood. Not to say they're bad neighborhoods, but if someone's going to go into a chiropractor's office for the first time, you want to put your best foot forward.
Well, perception is key.
Right.
You want that first image to be something that they will never forget. It has to be positive, inviting, bright.
And you got to fake it till you make it. I mean, Kevin and I, we bought a BMW we couldn't afford. This was like 10 years ago. We bought business cards at $800 per 1,000 that we couldn't afford. But we did it. We bought suits that we couldn't afford. But after the 5th meeting, it paid for itself 10 times over.
Right.
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
All right, good. Yeah, you want to make sure people feel safe at your office, right?
Of course.
You don't want to like walk out and they're going to get bugged. or
Sure,
something.
exactly.
I like this one. Number 7, old dingy cluttered office. Like, you shouldn't like have a bunch of like old newspapers and collectibles. In
No.
Like your all the McDonald's things you collect. I used to have a friend that he was like, I think he had a psychological problem, but he would collect crap.
Right.
He'd have like old lawn chairs. It was amazing.
Yeah. We go to a lot of chiropractic offices, and we see their old dingy sofa, they brought from home. Their, worn down seats that no one else wants, and they put in their office. And those crinkly Time magazines on their, in their, front office area.
From like 1960.
Yeah, and then people just look at them like, my God, I don't know who touched this. I don't want to touch this. And that gives them an impression that how cutting edge is this person if they can't invest, a couple $1,000 in nice furniture.
And actually, one more point to that. A few offices we've seen, they don't turn on the lights in the waiting room.
Right.
Because they just don't want to pay the extra, 3 cents per day for the lights to be on.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, and I don't know if it's just part of, just the chiropractic, I can't even think of the right word, but why are chiropractors so cheap sometimes?
I have no idea. But I think, they don't...
Is it just because they're not successful, or...
Well, there's a lot of theories going around our heads. And one of them is that maybe they don't believe in what they're doing.
Yeah, that could be
Because
it.
if they believe that they're the best, they would act like the best.
Right, and they wouldn't be so cheap.
No.
I
they
just
wouldn't.
sometimes amazed that chiropractors won't spend a little bit of money on going to a seminar or things to make them better,
Right.
or to clean up, make things look respectable. I mean, to me, image is everything. I mean, I'm in Newport Beach, so I'm not gonna. I have to kind of keep up with the Joneses. But even if I was out in BFE, I would make sure I have the state of the art. I mean, because that's the way I like to represent myself.
Absolutely.
And also, one of the other things is cutting edge. How important do you think it is for doctors to be like current with like
Very.
with digital x-rays? A big one for me, and I was reluctant to do it, but I really tell people that was one of the best things I've ever decided to do. People expect you to, not to have some old 1960s x-ray machine.
Right.
Yeah.
No, X-ray is really important. There's something that Joe Frontelli with Posture Ray he uses. He maps out your posture.
Right.
Those things, visual things,
Sure.
are going to sell people on their health. If they don't see something, if they don't see a digital X-ray, if they don't see a posture screening, they're not going to believe what you're going to tell them.
Right. And I mean, I'm not trying to put anybody down, but also it seems to me a lot of people come in expecting X-rays, and sometimes when they've been to other chiropractors, they're really thankful that we are taking X-rays.
Yeah.
I know sometimes people feel that there's a negative side effect to X-rays, or which there is. I understand that, but there's a negative side effect to everything else people do.
Sure.
But I know the colleges are also teaching that X-rays shouldn't be utilized unless there's frank trauma. Whoever Frank is, I don't know.
Right. But if you go to a dentist, I mean, they'll, even if it's 5 weeks between, going to the dentist, they're still going to take an X-ray.
Right.
Because that's the only thing they can show you on something, tangible. This is what's wrong with you.
Okay, lack of cohesive branding.
Yes. We know people who have their website designed by their cousin's uncle, their marketing material by their next door neighbor, their business card by the print shop, and there's no cohesivity. The font on something looks at Times Roman font. The next one's an Arial font. The colors don't match. The logo is in the wrong place. Some people squish the logo this way to make it fit, and that just drives me off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there has to be cohesiveness, because from the time they look at your website to the time they're handed a business card or they come to the office, they want to know that it's all part of the same.
Every
big
detail
picture.
matters. Every detail. People nowadays are so visual with all these apps and icons. They can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
People are savvy,
They are very savvy.
especially in a higher socioeconomic
Yes.
area like this. I mean, you might get away with that stuff in Mississippi or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I don't live in Mississippi.
No, neither do I.
Okay. And if you live there, great. I mean,
Right.
the crocodiles are cool.
Sure. They are very tasty.
All right, number 5. Cookie cutter, typical, or non-existing logos. No
Right.
brand recognition, confusion.
Kevin, you want to take this one?
Sure. For the longest
He's letting
time,
you talk now. I like that.
appreciate it.
Well, we got to number 5. Now it's his turn.
Okay. For the longest time, we've been looking at chiropractic brands and logos, and one thing we see is that damn spine. Everybody has a spine. Spine this, spine that.
Or the happy family jumping up like that.
Right. And we've seen so many of those that I cannot.
You don't like that?
No.
Not at all.
Okay. But you don't like
It's
the
like
spine, the
dentists
damn
using a
spine.
tooth.
No, I don't. I like it. I mean, I like the concept, but it's been so overused that now it's become just synonymous with generic.
Right.
It's like a
And-
gavel for lawyers or a tooth for dentists.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot tell one from the other.
Or a fingernail if they do like fingernails.
Right, right. Or flowers for flower shop. Right.
You have to be unique. Right.
Okay. Is my rhino okay? I mean, I don't want to...
I love it.
No,
Okay.
that's
It's
great.
just really cool.
It's unexpected and people are going to remember it.
Okay, so we're done with this one.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to number 4. Homemade marketing flyers and postcards. Like somebody that just makes Xerox
You know
copies
what?
of
I
stuff.
know-
Right,
we
they
know-
make it and then they Xerox it on their, $20 printer.
Well, actually, I know people that use their front desk person between taking phone calls to design something in Word and then print it, on a printer that's running out of ink.
Right.
And that just bothers the heck out of me.
Or
Right.
it's been copied over like 10 times. so
Right,
it's-
right. And then it's beginning to do that.
Or it's out of red and everything looks blue.
Right.
The
I don't
red
know about
ink
that.
is. I've seen many of those.
And they hand it out to their patients and says, "Hey, come to our next workshop."
So you guys say that looks cheap.
What do you?
Number 3. Cookie cutter websites.
Oh, God. Over the past 10 years, nothing has improved with these cookie cutter websites.
Okay.
It's all, if I go on Google, search for a bunch of websites, and they all look the same. And the next day I'm like, "Hey, honey, let's pick up the chiropractor I saw online last night." And they all look the same. How can you guys be unique and different if everything's all the same?
Let me ask you a question too.
Yes.
What percentage of your new clientele should theoretically, if you know this, theoretically come from your website?
We have people that about 75% come from the website.
No, mine's not even close to that.
Really?
No. I
No,
have
whether
mostly
it's-
referrals.
whether
I
it's
wouldn't be
your-
able to keep up if I had that kind of return.
No, it's 75% of the people come through the website. For my wife, it's true. For Dee Harrison, it's true.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
And
maybe
then
you guys
we
can help me with
also
that then.
social media as well. I mean, that's huge.
Right.
Yeah.
I got somebody off Alex Jones the other day. Okay, good.
Fantastic.
Number 2. I know you can't wait for number 1, and I know what number 1 is. I knew what number 1 was when even before these guys showed up. Over-promising and putting down other chiros. I always praise other chiros.
Yeah, the infighting. I mean, that just looks bad.
Yeah.
Patients go to a new chiropractor, say, "Hey, my old chiropractor told me to do this." So like, your old chiropractor doesn't know
Sucks. Yeah.
crap.
Right.
You know, so
Crap.
crap. So we have to, as a profession, we have to stick together.
Right.
We have to elevate each other. We have to refer to each other, and we can't put the other people down.
No.
And I think to the overpromise part, several people have told us this, saying, "Why this chiropractor told me, hey, come for 5 sessions, I'll be fine," but I wasn't. So screw that. I'm never gonna go to a chiropractor again.
Well, they told me I'm gonna get cured of cancer, and they never get cured of cancer. So
Yeah,
there's
actually,
things
that
going
is
on.
true. That is
That's
true. One of our very good friends, we sat down with him a couple of years ago over dinner. I were telling him what we're doing, and he said, "Chiropractors, they promised me that they can prevent me from getting cancer.
Prevent?
Prevent."
Wow.
And I said, "Oh, okay. Well, that's a horrible promise, but
Maybe he just misunderstood what he was being told.
No, we have actual postcards of people who mailed it to our house, and we've kept them.
Yeah.
Cancer prevention, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Just stick to back pain, neck pain, headache, those obvious things for now.
and I think once they come in, they experience a difference.
then
other
you can
things start
talk to
falling
them
into
about
place.
the power that made the body, heals the body.
Heals the body. And the number 1 reason, let's have a drum roll. Can you put a drum roll in here, Nick? Nick's going to put a cool drum roll. Is what I think is hideous from most chiropractors is
Attire.
Tire.
attire. What, we're talking tires now?
No, attire.
Oh, yeah.
Attire. Attire. Whatever you wear in your office is a reflection of how professional you are, how much value you have, and how
good
knowledgeable
you are.
Yeah. So if I'm wearing t-shirts and flip-flops, I can't charge more than $19 per adjustment. But
Right. But you get
if
away
I'm wearing something like this, I can charge $100 and no one's going to
Question.
question.
The analogy I always use is like if you go to the Ritz-Carlton, they're not walking around, the people that work there, they're not walking
No.
around in ripped up pants and
Right.
flip-flops.
Right. To that point, I heard some chiropractors say chiropractors are the Ritz-Carlton of the healthcare profession, right? But we're dressing up like Motel 6, attendees.
Right. Or
You know-
worn out Motel 6.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So if we wear a tie at least, trousers
Yeah.
and ties, maybe scrubs even, or even
I'm not a scrubs guy, but I can see how scrubs
Right,
work.
right. And at minimum, a nice polo shirt with your logo
Right.
and Dr. Johnson written over here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, I've always been in. I like to dress up. I like to dress down too, as people know. I mean, I'm notorious for being a dirtbag, but when I'm at the office, I like to look. Because here's the deal: when you look sharp, it raises your self-esteem.
Right, yep.
And then when you have self-esteem, you have better communication potential with people. I mean, to me, dressing up is like, and dressing up is not that hard, but if you have a hard time dressing, do you guys dress people too, or what?
we have to tell them what to wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for me and you, it's probably kind of easy. Like everybody goes, "Who buys your clothes?" I mean, I like buying. I'm into clothes. I'm kind of like a
No. My wife, she wears a white coat, and some people are against white coats.
Yeah.
But when a patient walks in, I want there to be a distinction between who's
They
the
know who's in charge.
Right.
who's in charge and who's answering the phones.
right.
And when that line is blurred, we have issues.
All right. So you guys are available. How do they get a hold of you?
They can go to our website, mychiropractic.com.
It's not a cookie cutter website, is
Not
it?
at all.
God, no.
And you guys aren't wearing like flip flops and t-shirts.
No,
This is how
we
we-
go to work.
This is how we go to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
You never know who's going to walk through that door.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
And
yeah.
you want to be better dressed than your best dressed client, and I've learned that a
Absolutely.
long time ago.
Right.
So.
Right. So a little bit of investment goes a long way, and we hope with your help we can elevate the image of the profession.
It needs it.
Definitely.
All right.
Thank you.
Artavon, Kevin, I won't
Kevin.
call you Jeff.
Not Jeff. Kevin.
No, it was Jack.
And these guys are twins, if you guys didn't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Come
We're
see us
not-
at Cal Jam. We'll be there.
Yeah, you'll be at Cal
Yeah,
Jam. Okay.
yeah.
We're going to get this out before Cal Jam?
Yeah.
All right. Rock and roll.
Very good.
Can you guys do that?
Now we put it on the spot.
No, don't do this. Your brother needs a little help.
What am I doing?
I don't know. It's rock and roll.
Well,
Okay.
There you go. All right.
This video is sponsored by my friends over at mychiropractic.com, custom branding and web design for successful chiropractors. I love these dudes because they're raising the image of chiropractic, and I really thank them for supporting all of our videos. Rock and roll.